Welcome to Mondays with Coach Rice. It's a brand new week, the sun's shining bright. A chance to cast your net, step into the light. Life's full of challenges, it's a winding stream. But with Coach Rice, you'll find your dream.
This is Mondays with Coach Rice, casting the net. I just want to come on real quick and just say thank you so much for listening to Casting the Net podcast every Monday, where we care most about your mental health and well-being. And I just want to introduce my special guest, Barb Harvey, who is a parent coach. And I just want to introduce her to you. And so, Barb, tell us, where you're from and what made you take on the journey of this particular career path?
First of all, thank you so much, Martha, for inviting me to be on your show. I am excited to be here. As you said, I am a parent coach, and I was fortunate enough in my life to meet Dr. Miles Monroe. And I asked him a question, and he answered that question for me, and it set me on a path to find what my assignment is. And in the journey to find that assignment and talking to the Lord, I pondered with the Holy Spirit. I talked to some folks, and having worked with children my whole life, I really felt like the Lord was telling me that it was time for me to help children by helping their parents. And that's grown over time to the point where now, as much as I love children, I'm in love with parents, and I'm in love with adults. And the way their eyes light up when they finally get something about their kids that they didn't get before, it's the same kind of joy that I got when I was in the first grade classroom and I had a child learn to read a word. The brightness of their eyes and how their eyes lit up when they realized, I know that word. It's the same kind of joy that I get when I'm talking to a parent and they realize, that's what my kid is thinking. That's where their mind is. It's the same light, and it's so exciting for me. And I love it. And I'm looking to help other people who are called, what I say, to the family mountain, to help them be able to help other adults find that light because they understand their kids.
That's awesome. I know Miles Monroe. I used to listen to him all the time. May he rest in peace. But what was it that he told you that got you so pumped up?
You know what, Martha? I would tell you that, but I have a book coming out this spring. And so you're going to have to read the book to find that out.
Oh, okay. You know what? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell us about, in your journey as a parent coach, what are some of the things that you saw as patterns within the family system?
Well, so much the parent that I was meeting. One of the things I say all the time is that parenting is not about techniques. It's not about knowing whether you should or shouldn't spank. It's not about knowing whether you should do this or shouldn't do this. Parenting at its heart is a relationship between an adult and a child.
Say that again, because that's powerful.
Parenting at its heart is the relationship between an adult and a child.
Mm-hmm.
And we parent based on who we are, out of who we are. And so many times people in parent education want to focus on the how. But what I've learned is parenting is based on who you are becoming and not how you do or what you do. it's connecting with yourself and with your child in such a way that there's true relationship, true connection. One of the I every year I do the wisdom challenge on Facebook with Pedro Deo, and on Friday we did chapter 17. And I had never heard that. I've been doing this challenge for 4 years. I've read the book of Proverbs so many times, but there were the verse that jumped out at me. It's Proverbs 17:6. Children are a crown to grandfathers, but the glory of children is their father. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. The glory of children is their dads. And it made me think, when you see little kids with their dads, especially when they're riding on their shoulders, the brightness of their faces, and I'm with my dad. My dad's so cool, right? And so the relationship that every child has with their dad brings glory to their faces. But
Yes.
how many times do we even think about that? Kids need their dads. And in our Western culture, so much, we have not emphasized that role. And so, unfortunately, children don't have their glory because their dads aren't in their homes. And so, that's one of the things I want to fix. The nuclear family has gone so far away from us, but it's the way God
Yes.
said family is supposed to be. And so, one of the things I really believe is that all of us who are here on the planet are assigned to bring the kingdom of heaven to the realm of earth. And the only way we do that is by understanding what God has said is the ideal, because it's the ideal that sets the standard. Well, the ideal of family is a mom and a dad and their kids. That's the ideal of
Yes.
family. And that's where my heart is. My heart is to help bring that back to especially the Western world, because here in the US, I think the last statistic I read was 76% of children are born to a single mother. Oh my,
Mm.
what?
That's big. That's
Is
a
that big?
huge percentage. Yes.
That's big. That means
That's
oh
huge.
my gosh. 3/4 of children born in this country are born without their dads. 3/4. If I'm remembering right. I mean, I read that a while ago, and I can't even remember where I quoted it from, and it might be different now. But I mean, if it's half that, it's too much.
Yeah. If you're right. If it's half of that, it's too much. That's true.
So I think, and going back to your original question, the thing is that I've discovered is that we in the Western society need to rethink how we're doing family. The
Yes.
next thing we need to understand is that parenting is not a how or a what. It's a relationship that we build every day, with every second, with every interaction. And that parents need support. They need support. The Surgeon General, who I don't know how long he'll continue to be the Surgeon General, because of course we just got a new president in today. But the point is, the last Surgeon General said parents are under so much stress, and they're under
Yes.
stress because they have no support. And the main reason they have no support is because most parents don't still live in the same city as the people they grow up with, their parents, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles. And so we really need churches and other organizations to provide that support. And one of the ways we need to do that is by offering education.
That is so true. You are so you hit it on you hit the nail on the head, because you're right. I mean, it takes a village. It always took a village. And it's powerful. And you're right. Men, when a father is not in the home, it does have a huge impact on the family and on the child, the way the child see life and the way they move about life in the future.
And it's funny to me how we we don't really realize what we think and what we say. And okay, so I was out with a friend. Um, my friend is somebody that I love very much, and I care about her a lot. And you know, we have our differences. She is a homosexual. She's married to a woman, but she's somebody that I really love and care about, and we have a good friendship. And we were out together um, at lunch one time, and we were sitting there and we were talking, and she was looking over my shoulder, and she said, "You know, I think that's the sexiest thing I've ever seen." Now I'm sitting at the table with a homosexual woman, so I'm a little nervous to turn around. But I turned around and I looked, and she was looking at this dad who was being really goofy with his kid. We were at a Mexican restaurant, and he had some chips and he had them next to his ear, and he was doing just something silly and crazy. And when I heard that scripture on Friday, it's something that story came up for me, because that dad being silly with his kids, the smiles and the laughter and the joy on their faces was their glory. But we don't. But we somehow forget that. But here I am sitting in a restaurant with a woman who doesn't think men are sexy, saying the sexiest thing she's ever seen is a man interacting with his kids.
Right. Because it's not, you don't see it that often. So it was highlighted. She was able to see it, and it looked natural. It looked right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It set well with her.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
this is what I'm saying. So on some level, we all know what's right.
Right.
We all
We all know what it
recognize
looked like.
right. We know what it looks like, but
But
we
it
don't. But somehow we talk ourselves out of it.
and so many, and it's so far from it that it's like you get desensitized to seeing what's wrong, and wrong becomes right,
That's right.
which is dangerous, right?
Extremely.
So tell me about the your new book, Building a Parent Ministry. When does that come out?
Okay, it's coming out spring, and there's a lot that goes into it. So when I say spring, I mean by June 21st, because I'm giving myself all along, you know. So
Nice.
sometime in the next 6 months. But the book is called Building a Kingdom Parent Ministry: Who You Need to Become in Order to Lead, Serve, and Influence. And
Ooh.
the goal of this book is to take my experience. So I had a nonprofit called Parents, Teachers, and Advocates, and it ran
Hmm.
from 2006 until COVID killed it.
Okay.
That's what I say. But anyway, I served during that time 12,500 parents. I created a course. It's an 8 class course. Each course has 12 sessions, so it's 96, total of 96 classes. Um, Working with parents to help them grow.
Okay.
And the first class is called Defining Values, Achieving Goals. That class I've taught to over 7,000 parents. And
Wow.
what I noticed is the way parents change. We start out in that class talking about what does it mean to be a child of the king, and we end that class with parents developing their own parent mission statement.
Okay.
So how am I going to be a parent to my child? Because as I was saying before, you know, as an adult, you have to parent each one of your children differently because they're all different.
They're all
You
different.
know,
Yeah.
we don't love them different, but we parent them differently because they're different.
They're different.
So that's part of it. So and my goal is to help people who want to work on the family mountain in the field of helping people parent become parent educators. And so um, that means that some people will be in children's ministry and they'll have what they need to help parents as they come in and out. Some family ministers will work with parents directly on helping them develop stronger families. There'll be some people who, you know, I don't want to be in a church, I want to be an independent parent educator, and they'll come through. But ultimately, my goal is to help everyone figure out what their part looks like and give them the tools to be able to do that well.
So you ready to have a school set up?
Yes, actually, I'm calling it the School of Kingdom Family Wealth, because we're talking about parenting, definitely. But you cannot talk about parenting without talking about the individual parent. You cannot talk about parenting well without talking about the foundation of every family, which is a married couple. And
Right.
then you talk about the children and what that looks like. So um, it's going to be a comprehensive program, primarily focused on parenting, but all of the aspects that are necessary in order for a healthy parent to exist.
Okay. Is it going to be on demand or online or
You know what? I
both?
haven't quite figured that out yet.
You will.
I'm really hoping to launch the school in January 26th. So my goal this year is to figure all of that out. But I do know that I do want to have an aspect of it be online, because we're global now, and there's people all over the
Yes.
world who are going to want this. I understand that. But at the same time, I'm old fashioned in a lot of ways, and being an educator in old fashioned, and face to face learning, I think is really important, especially after COVID. And I see how much kids lost ground. I'm like, if kids lost that much ground going to school on the computer, are we really going to be effective in training if we're doing it online? It's just something I've been thinking about. So
It is. It is. Oh, I'm a little old school too, but I recognize that we done went into a whole nother dispensation. But at the same time, you can do half and half
yeah, I'm
to,
thinking about the hybrid model,
yeah,
so, and even, my alma mater, ORU, they have classes where you, during the semester, during the fall and spring, you're online, but you come in for an intensive for a month in the summer. So I might think about that.
yeah, I
But
really do like the in person is so powerful because they support one another and it's connection, and we have lost a lot of that during COVID. And
I agree.
and so, but unfortunately, we try to hold on to it so we keep it hybrid, like you said, and have
Mhm.
people come on and come in person. Every once in a while, you may have to travel somewhere and get them and come into a large group or something. That'd be nice. I can see that.
Yeah. So, I'm still kicking it around and thinking about,
Right.
the first 6 months of the year to get the book out, the next 6 months are to figure out the school. So, plus I'm working on simultaneously at the same time. So, it's
It'll
just
come
a
together.
lot of
It should,
moving parts right
it'll
now.
come together. You have a lot of life. You have a lot of experience. You work with 12,500 parents. You have a lot of experience. It will work out. You will find your way, and what God intended you to do. It's just nice that someone is thinking about the parents because, like you said, it trickles down to the child. So it's good that you're thinking about that. It's not a lot, a lot of that happening, but it's great that you have that.
I think it's just starting. You know why? Because I think we're getting ready. I really believe, if you're listening to the prophets, and I've been listening to the prophets, and we're getting ready to have a serious revival in the church, right? And so I think that means that people are going to be flocking to churches, and we have to have, my assignment is to help churches get ready for people
For the
coming in. They
increase.
know the world's way of family, and the world's way of family is chaos. I mean, let's just be honest. The world's way
Yeah.
of family is chaos. I mean, I know so many people who stress over Christmas and Thanksgiving. And it
Right.
shouldn't be that way.
We really done got away from the whole essence of and the foundation of the word of God. Anytime you go away from that, you're gonna get error. And when you get error, you're gonna go on a trajectory of that. And so it's really just you're right, the foundation is what I call cracking.
Well, I mean,
It's
we do
cracking,
have,
it's breaking, and we got to bring the foundation has to come back to the original plan.
well, and that's the way. I mean, there's so much trouble in the world, and it's because we have allowed the enemy to run free instead of recognizing, okay, wait, I am here to bring the kingdom of heaven to the realm of the earth and be focused on that. And
Yeah, something got
like,
lost in it.
right, he likes to distract us.
Yeah.
We got all distracted with other things, but really, if we just stay focused on what's my assignment and how do I do my
Mhm.
assignment well, then I think and then plug into other people who are doing similar and or likewise assignments, and then
Yes,
that's how it's going to work.
that's true. That is so true. So, what advice would you give our audience when it comes to, you know, what's one piece of advice you can leave with them?
Um, if you are not a parent, be really kind and considerate of the parents in your life. Recognize that the Surgeon General is right. There's a lot of stress for parents out there. So go pick up your niece or nephew and take them out. Give that parent a break. Um, if you are a parent, reach out. You're not alone. You have family, you have friends. And even if you don't, make family, make friends. Your kids are involved in all kinds of activities where there are other parents. Plug into other parents and connect. You don't have to be lonely. It just takes a moment for you to choose to connect with other people. And then they're saying there's a lot of stress in parenting. Take some time for yourself. I'd say that to moms all of the time because we tend to be everything to everybody else. And then we get frustrated and mad because they're not paying any attention to us. This is one piece of advice I have for moms. If you do not take the time to take care of you in front of your kids and teach your kids how important it is to take care of themselves, you are doing them a disservice. Because 80% of what you do is what they're going to take into their adulthood. So if you take the time to take care of you and give yourself permission to go get a mani or pedi, give yourself permission to go for a jog, eat right, do the things for you, then you are telling them that it's not necessary for them to take care of themselves. And that's the biggest lie.
Yes, lead by example. well, well, Barb, you have embraced us with some good wisdom, and we are so grateful to have you. Make sure you send me your links so people can know how to get in touch with you. And we are, you're so right.
Well, I can tell you right now, I am on Facebook and LinkedIn as Barbara E. Harvey. So if you type in Barbara E. Harvey, you will find me on either LinkedIn or on Facebook.
Okay, good. So
Right.
I'll make sure I put it in the links in the video once I finish out, when I finish the comments, I'll put that in there. But thank you so much for, showing up. Thank you for what you're doing because parents going to love you, because, especially with the advice you gave, permission to take care of yourself and be that example for your children. Because you're right. It keeps, the pattern keeps moving, right?
Exactly.
And so, yeah. So, keep us posted on the book.
I will.
So we can make sure that you get it out. Keep us posted on it so we can definitely share it. And
Well, I'd love to come back when the book is ready, and then I can
yes, you can.
story.
Yes, you can.
I'll tell
You
you
can
the story
definitely do
then
that.
once it's out.
Okay, you are definitely welcome to come back on this platform as soon as whenever you're ready. Just book the appointment. If you need the link again, reach out. I would love to have you again.
Martha, thank you so much. I really appreciate this time to talk to you and your audience. I just really think that family is important, and parenting is such a it's such a beautiful thing, but people get overwhelmed by it. I mean, it's really a daunting task to take a brand new child and raise them to 18 years old, ready to go out and do what God's called them to the earth to do. That's a daunting task. And
Yeah, it is. And I think that it's a it's an honor because God is saying, I'm giving you this person, this whole person to manage, but I don't want you to do it alone. I want to walk with you. I want you to experience me through the life of this child, because that's the closest thing you're going to understand how much I love you.
amen.
And, and that's what I love the most about parenting, is that you get that sense of what it's like to love at that level. But God is 10 times higher. Imagine how much he loves us if we love our children the way we do, right?
Exactly. I mean, isn't that what the Lord said? If you being evil can be good to your kids, how much more is the God of heaven good to you?
Yes. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on. If just to my audience, if you felt this was a blessing and you want to share it with other people, please share the link, share the video. I will have the continue to have videos coming. Subscribe if you feel this information is useful. Comment. Let us know how we're doing. If you some topics you want to hear about, uh, message me and I'll see what I can do. But thank you so much for listening. We are signing off.
We'll heal every heart, so join us now. Let's make life suffice. Welcome to Mondays with Coach Rice.